Good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning, all. And sorry for a bit deceiving you all, but I thought I might not be able to make it this morning after last night's festivities. But no, I'm honky dory, fresh as a sheet, and ready to go. So I thought, as not, why not? And get ready to go for another fantastic, as always, good morning walk. David, good morning to you. But yes, good morning, good morning, good morning to all the people just joining us. Like I said, good morning. It is, as always, nice as always to see you all. Oh, Alexa, good morning to you. Phil, good morning to you. Oh, Neil K, good morning to you. Mark, good morning to you. Freddy Krueger with a wig. Well, I'm pretty sure she's got a Margaret Thatcher, dress-up kit all ready for you this morning. Oh, Jen, good morning for you from London. Good morning to you. Mark, good morning to you. FSM, howdy, good morning to you. Is she PM yet? No, that's we've got two more sleeps. Two more sleeps till Liz Truss becomes PM. And yeah, it's a terrifying thought. It's a terrifying thought. It really is. So actually, it's probably best giving you the timeline of what's going to happen. So the results for the contest. Oh, Ida, good morning to you from Hamburg. Good morning to you. So the results of the contest are going to be announced on Monday, I think at 12:30. At which point I think Boris will also officially resign. And then on Tuesday, Boris gets to deliver another resignation speech. But also on Tuesday, I think Liz will also get to deliver her incoming speech. So that will be definitely something worth covering when that happens. So look out for that probably on Tuesday. If we get the opportunity, depending when it is, we might go live for it. If not, we'll certainly bring you the news after. So look out for that on Tuesday. And then on Wednesday, it will be, we're getting a 2-for-1-er because not only are we going to get the first PMQs, of course, with Liz Truss. Christ, it's surreal to say that, but yeah. That is the state we are in. Oh. Oh. We've got a little doggy. Oh, it's all right. Morning. So that will be one thing on Wednesday. So that'll be fun to watch to see how well that goes down. Or well, to see how quickly Liz Truss can go down in a lead balloon, because she does not have Boris's way with words when it comes to sort of giving a live speech. And if anything, she's come over incredibly robotic in these past sort of live debates. And of course, PMQs is known to be very much a verbal sparring match between, the Prime Minister and, of course, other members of the opposition. So I'm sure on Wednesday, fun and games will also ensue at PMQs. And we will also find out on Wednesday what her cabinet is going to look like. And that ultimately is probably the one I'm most looking forward to. Oh, Ernie, good morning to you from Germany. So that's the big one. And, I think there's obviously the big speculation that for Treasurer, I'm willing to put, some money down on it either being Kwasi Kwarteng, I don't know. Anyway, it's going to be Kwarteng, or it might be John Redwood. The smart money is on Kwarteng because he was, as you may all very well may remember, one of the key authors, along with Liz Truss, in being one of the authors of Britannia Unchained, if you may remember, that we've often mentioned and talked about, going over what was essentially many of the plans that these Tories had. Oh, Tom Peekaboo from Luxembourg, well, good morning to you. Yeah, well, who knows? Who knows who's going to end up in what spaces, because I think Patel, will get moved. I don't know who she will be replaced with. Healthy Mind Project, good morning from Vietnam. Oh, good morning. Good morning, Vietnam. I've always wanted to say that in an actual proper context, so thank you very much for allowing me to say that. Good morning, Vietnam. Oh, Pretty Bird, greetings, good morning to you. Didn't see you sneak in there. Oh, Fox, good morning to you. Mithril, good morning to you from a cloudy Lancashire. Well, it's, as you can see, it's quite misty over here as well. Because I don't know what's going to happen to Patel. And Patel could be quite an interesting one, because I saw Patel as someone who was trying to position herself to be leader, to put herself in that right mindset. Oh, Fact, good morning to you as well. She was evidently very much trying to position herself for a leadership run. And of course, good money was on her doing that. Oh, hello from Cuji, Romania. It's cloudy. I thought it was cloudy in Romania, but no. Good morning to you. Hopefully I've pronounced the city right, or town, or village, or I don't know. It's somewhere in Romania, like I say. I'm not familiar with it, but yes, good morning to you and welcome. And I don't know what will happen to her, because Patel's time at the Home Office has not been seen as a bonus, as something that's good that's happened to her, or that she's been perceived to be good in that position. So it is very likely, I think, Patel could be sent packing back to the backbenchers. I think Dominic Raab is also, I think, destined to be sent back there as well. Probably one of the big Rishi supporters. And of course, it's been reported many, many times that they've clashed in the past. Yes, I did see that, David, on LBC as well. Oh, Jamie, good morning to you. So I can certainly see them going. I don't know what will happen to Nadine Dorries, although Mad Nads, as I think she's been sort of dubbed, may actually want to sort of leave her post probably as quickly as possible, because the Digital Select Committee is certainly going to want to question her over the fact that of the disaster that was the Unboxed Festival, aka the Festival of Brexit, where they were forecasting 66 million visitors. And spent over 120 million pounds on this festival. That's 4 times more than was spent on the Queen's Platinum Jubilee, just to, let that sink in. And another interesting factoid that has sort of come out since then, costs about 20 million to basically provide, I think it's like all sort of school children who would need free school meals for a year. Just to, put that in context, you could have fed all those school children like 5 or 6 years almost for that amount of money that has been spent. So, she is going to get dragged before this committee. I can already see it already, and oh boy, is that going to be a performance worth watching? How she tries and justifies sort of the spending on this content of that failure of a festival. And the thing is, if you watched my video on it, the Festival of Failure, the Select Committee had already said it is going to be an absolute disaster. This is going to be a failure. Why are you doing this? Oh, Patrick H., good morning to you. So it is very, very clear that this was going to happen. This was going to happen. And predicted. And yet they went ahead with it anyway. And of course it turned out to be a colossal failure. And yet remember, all that money as well could have been put in, arts funding for schools, for, all kinds of stuff that would have been far, far better suited to it. Oh, Cavlan 100, good morning to you. But yeah, I cannot believe the absolute colossal failure of this. And most of you may remember in the past, I said to, sort of, I think it was to Max, we should apply for funding, to be honest. Because I'll tell you what is the ultimate racket, government procurement. If you know anyone who works in government procurement, what an absolute racket that is. You spend, they come forward and say, oh yeah, we need like a power drill. So you go forward, get 3 quotes, and then, you put like, an extra 100 quid markup on, on sort of providing it to the government. And one of the fun things I think we saw, that's again been reported from the Festival of Brexit, was the absolute disaster that one of the projects was. Oh, Ben, good morning to you. One of the projects was taking people to like, a rural area or a countryside area, and then getting them to film it. And the film itself has only been viewed about 1,000 times. And I'm like, what was the full funding for that? Like, what did they ask for that? Because I could have run that for like less than the grand and charged like 6 or 7 times that amount to go, to get them to, to get them to do that. It's insane. Loki, how was the Guinness? The Guinness was fantastic last night. As always, liquid bread. But yeah, I cannot believe the failure that was the Festival of Brexit. And oh my, if Nadine Dorries stays, and maybe she might stay, I mean, I don't know. I mean, it has been very, very much hinted before at the past that because she is very much a Boris loyalist, that she might keep people like Nadine Dorries involved. There's obviously the very worrying rumours that Rees-Mogg is either going to be offered, I think, levelling up secretary, which I think will be fun in itself. Nope. Sorry. So I think, Jacob Rees-Mogg being, levelling up secretary, what's he going to do with that? You've also then got the other rumour, he might be business secretary. That could be interesting because, as we've already seen and heard, according to the Express, so, take it with a grain of salt, it's the Daily Express, that Truss has apparently consulted with Jacob on how to solve the energy crisis, which I'm sure may involve some sort of, advocacy of returning to whale oil as, as a source of heat for lamps. So yeah, whatever happens to Jacob Rees-Mogg, I think he will probably remain in cabinet, but whatever position he gets given is going to be hilarious, to say the least, and probably incredibly worrying, especially if he gets given the business secretary job. You know, you may remember not too long ago, Katang made a move to try and get rid of the what's the name now? Is it the working hours directive? And he sort of made some rumblings that he was going to get rid of it. But luckily, there was such a pushback, he decided not to go for it and not do it. But I think if Jacob gets in, I think he will go for it. I think he will actually do it. And if he does that, there is going to be an almighty uproar. An almighty uproar if he even dares touch it or actually try to introduce legislation to get rid of it. But it's not just that as well. It's a whole heap of regulations that he could, if he wanted to, get rid of them. And of course, one of the worrying things we've got to look out for is if Liz Truss or someone else passes or makes an attempt to pass like a sunset clause on a lot of these EU regulations. So they might just go, well, if it's an EU regulation, got to be gone in the next couple of hours. Or at least, you know, it's got to be gone by this time next year. And of course, if it's a sunset clause, that pretty much means that it will get deleted. Hang on, we've got swans to try and pass again. So hopefully they will just let me pass. There we go. Simple as. You've got swans up ahead on the path, so good luck. So yeah, I don't know what will happen with Jacob Rees-Mogg. I don't know what position he will get given, but he is going to get given a position. Of that, you know, I can guarantee. And you know, and it will cause the Daily Mail or the Daily Express to, you know, wet themselves with glee as he gets given that position. Oh, hang on. Oh, June, good morning to you. But yeah, they will gladly wet themselves with glee at the thought that, you know, Mogg may finally be given, you know, some sort of official power. And yet, what's he done as, you know, Minister for, you know, Brexit opportunities? It was a nothing position where he hasn't really achieved anything. And it would be shocking if he gets given something like, you know, actual proper position with power. what do you do if like Rees-Mogg got in the position of I don't know, Home Office or like Foreign Secretary? People talk about how there's Nadine Dorries should never ever be allowed a cabinet position. I make that same statement with Jacob Rees-Mogg, but there's a lot of people out there who think that that guy's like the bee's knees and is can do absolutely fantastic things if he ever gets into power. And I'm like, well, hold on, guys. What exactly has he ever done? He hasn't really ever done anything. This technically is like the closest he has ever been to like having a position with power as like, the Minister for Brexit Opportunities and Government Efficiency. And yet he wandered around, as was described at the time, wandered around Whitehall like some sort of, Victorian ghost, leaving messages for people to return to work. But that's, Jacob Rees-Mogg, unfortunately. And I think he is going to get given some sort of position of power, I think, in Liz Truss's government. And that is incredibly worrying. Incredibly worrying. But I suppose we'll find out on Wednesday who gets what. So yeah, we'll find out then what happens. But until then, we can only really speculate. But there will be a reshuffle. You told people in Max's stream no stream today. Well, I thought I wasn't going to stream today either, Chthonic. But no, I'm up and about because I did tell people I wouldn't stream today, so it is my fault. And yeah, I need to get going again because I've got, like I say, today I've got another international meeting. Someone from Australia in JCI. So yeah, the life of a deputy president never ends. So yeah, I am sort of walking at max speed today to try and get back to that, because I only realised when I started streaming what time it was. So yeah, I am on the roll today. But ultimately, of course, I think one of the big things we've got to watch out for, and I think, if you've been in the UK and you've been watching the UK news, the thing I thought would eventually happen is I think it's finally started to set into a lot of people. And that is the fact that, the business support hasn't really been forthcoming on energy prices. And we've had pubs, restaurants, cafes, all these, businesses going, how do I operate? My energy bill's gone from 10,000 to 6,000. That's a lot of money for a business to try and absorb. And I always say it's November. So let me walk you through what will happen. Liz Truss is going to take office in, obviously, as we said, 2 more sleeps. So, sleep well on those thoughts. Unless Rishi Sunak somehow manages to pull it off, but I doubt it. I doubt it. Liz Truss is not going to have the party with her. She's made all these promises that I do not think she's going to be able to fulfill. And she will have to U-turn on a lot of these promises she has made about energy. So that is what's going to happen in sort of September. In October, people are still going to be saying, well, all these things that you've done have not been enough for, not only, people to live, essentially, or even, businesses still to continue to function, because ultimately it is going to be the small and medium businesses. I think especially the hospitality industry is going to suffer really, really badly. Really badly, I think, because of this energy price rises. And I think you'll get a lot of closures. There was a story, I'm gonna have to try and find it, but there was a story about a farm shop. And for those of you who might live in the UK, or at least know anything about the UK, farm shops have been like this growing market that have been, growing throughout the last couple of years. They've popped up all over the place. You had like one farm shop, and there are now like a loads. Almost every farm seems to have their own, farm shop. But we had a story today that one farm shop looked at the price rises in energy, and they went, if this continues, we won't be able to operate as a business. So even before those price rises have come in, they've just gone, well, we're going to pack up and shut down, because we've done the math, we've done the calculations. We in the next couple of months, we will not be able to survive as a business. And you've got to be wondering how many other businesses are making that calculation as well, thinking, well, how long can we survive if there's no support? And I think November is when it will hit. That is when the winter will properly set in. We will have had, September, October, with whatever support the government wants to throw at, sort of people and businesses, which, let's face it, is probably not going to be enough or adequate enough. Or maybe the system will be so complicated on purpose as to, not give out the money. I think you're looking at a complete November crisis. And the worrying thing will be, I think you'll be looking at a lot of shutdowns. And as I've said before, if you think in a town like Barnsley has a population of 26,000. If a cafe closes down, that's 5, 6 jobs. But if you have multiple, not just cafes, restaurants, a ton of different businesses close down, those job losses will quickly add up. And where like a local economy could maybe like absorb, 5 or 10 job losses, if you're talking like, maybe a couple of thousand, or if it gets even worse than that, maybe more, how are some of these local economies going to function? How are they going to survive this? And I think, as I've said before, November, I think, is when it all kicks off. I think it will be some sort of avalanche that starts it. And it'll be one of those things where you can't predict what will start it, but something will happen. Something will happen, and I think it will just start an avalanche. Oh dear. Oh dear, oh dear. We've got Pony Tunnel. Pony Tunnel ahead. This could be interesting. What's up? Good morning, good morning, good morning. Good morning, boys. Can I just make my way through? Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. It's Pony here, scratching himself. And now I'm going to try and get past. So, morning, boys. There we go. We're through. We're through. So, yeah. I think something will happen in November that I think, unfortunately, will start a cascade of events that will just fly out of government control. I unfortunately think you'll see a lot of small and medium businesses basically just say, we can't continue as a business. I think that will be incredibly sad for a lot of business owners out there, because I think there are a lot out there already worrying. Can we survive the winter? I think you've got a lot of schools and a lot of head teachers going, we can't afford, to keep the heating on. And I think you're going to get pictures of school children in classes with, coats, jackets, hats and gloves, all huddled around, as the teacher, also the same, is wrapped up, trying to keep warm and teach the class as well. And it's hard to predict when something like that happens what's going to cause it, but something bad will happen. And I think it will just start a cascade of events. Could it lead to an early general election? Probably. Probably. I think there might be enough Tories who might just go, screw it, let's just get out of power now. I think that could be certainly a very big case for that. So, yeah, I keep on telling you guys, November is where it's all going to happen. November is where it's all going to kick off. But even I can't predict how bad this winter is going to be. I think this is going to be one like we haven't seen before. But yeah, as always, guys, like I say, thank you very much for joining me today on the on the Good Morning Walk. Thank you very much for joining me on the Good Morning Walk. Thank you very much for coming along, joining us. Remember to hit the like and share button on your way out. Down below there are links to my Patreon page, and there's also the one-off donation link called Buy Me Coffee, where you can buy me coffee. There is the Pony Club as well, if you like. Thank you very much for the perks, showing off the badges and the emojis that you get. Like I say, I think a couple more of you join, I'll be able to get some more made. You also get a free super chat a month as well if you are a Pony Clubber as well. So remember to use that, guys, who are part of the Pony Club. You get a free super chat. So as always, thank you very much for joining us, as always. We'll see you next weekend for another Good Morning Walk. And of course, it will probably be covering Liz Truss's first week as Prime Minister. Although, annoyingly, watch Rishi Sunak somehow win. just to really annoy me. But weren't you saying Liz Truss has got this in the bag? Farewell, But yeah, Liz Truss, I think, is going to win, and I think she's going to win in quite a big landslide. I really do think she probably will. So as always, like I say, thank you very much for joining us, and like I say, we'll see you all next time. So as always, stay safe. If you can't be safe, be sensible, or whatever. I can't remember now. But as always, we'll see you all next time.